All right, game replays, fellow casters, NTD, Biosparks, Yoink. This is Ami Poli Funk. Are we ready to get this thing started? Are we ready to get going here? What do you think?
I'm ready, Ami. I've been ready for, 8 months while we're waiting for this patch to happen? Let's do this.
Wasn't it like 2 years? I don't know. It's been a long time. It's an exciting moment. We're going to start this Sunday Night Fight season number 2, episode number 1, with a little tailgate party, a bonus game from the quarterfinals featuring former tournament 1v1 and 2v2 winner DrHorse versus former tournament 1v1 winner Aimstrong. This is going to be a PE versus Americans matchup, and it's going to be the game 1 of the quarterfinals. The semifinals are actually going on right now as we speak. Is that exciting or what? And so those are going to be coming at you on this channel all night long, for as long as NTD can take it, sitting there behind doing all the camera work, and as long as Yoink's voice holds out.
I've got my coffee, water, lozenges, and a whole bunch of sugary snacks to keep us going through this. We're going to see some great games tonight, and I intend to be here for all of the action. I hope our viewers do too.
To quote a viewer, I'm on SOT. Thank you, Jesus, for this cast, and God bless SNF. I like that. So,
I love our fans.
Yeah, tweet to your buddies to tune in to Game Replays COH on Justin TV. I hope you like our fancy new look. We did some styling on the channel. Nice little boxing ring background from a boxing match that took place in the 40s. And what I'd like to show you now is something that deserves a drum roll. We need Linsky in here so he can like brrrr on the snare drum. This is a very special introduction video that was made by Game Replay staff member Lethem, and you're going to see it so much tonight. You're going to see it hopefully 6 or 7 times. I'll let NTD take it away from here. Welcome back, Game Replays, to the premiere episode of Sunday Night Fights season number 2. Joining me tonight is the man, the myth, the legend, Yoink!
Hello, friends. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for joining us for this premiere episode of Season 2. My co-host and I, Ami Poli Funk, are ready to show you some great games for the next couple of hours. Isn't that right, Ami?
Yeah, that's right. We can't guarantee it because it's as close to live as you can get with Company of Heroes. This is the semi-live broadcast of the quarterfinals and semifinals of tournament number 19, 1v1 battle, the first real test of this new balance patch that the entire community and Relic programmers have worked so hard to release to you guys, the players and fans that love this game. So this is the first moment we really get to see it in action.
These are the very best players in Company of Heroes going to go head-to-head in awesome 1v1 matchups using these brand new balance changes. We are going to see 4 factions, all 4 factions balanced out against one another in some great play, and all of these problems that Company of Heroes has had over the past couple of years really have been fixed by this balance patch, and if you haven't played it yet, you're really missing out.
Yeah, the community was heavily involved. I mean, I'm a staff member at GR, and I had the privilege of seeing these private forums with the experts and the sort of give and take between Mora and the Relic developers and all of the expert COH players and Colaris and the map makers that added some tweaks to fix some issues with certain maps to make them more competitive for multiplayer. And the whole drive was to get this game into a shape where it's set for competitive play in tournaments. So this is it right here. This is where we get to see which strats are strong, how the most creative players in the game are approaching it, and just starting from scratch, redefining the metagame, if you will. So for starters, we're going to show you a little tailgate game. This is a game by 2 former 1v1 tournament winners on Game Replays. DrHorse, the venerable Russian master, who I think I've interviewed him twice after winning these tournaments. A fantastic guy, just a really nice character. And then sort of a newer school tournament winner, Aimstrong, and he also goes by the name Simon. And so we're going to see DrHorse playing Panzer Elite and Simon playing Americans on Langres, which has been fixed. No longer will the bicycle travel slowly on the road. It will now travel quickly in red cover as it's supposed to. So even Langres has gotten a little adjustment. And later we will be joined by BioSparks for some semifinals games. And boy, do we have some big names. You guys are in for a treat tonight. No matter who gets there, and they're getting there right now, it's going to be good. And so I also have to say, of course, thanks to NTD for doing all of our camera work, the silent man behind the scenes, and to all of the staffers, especially Lethem, for that awesome video that helped get this going and make it happen. So right now, who did you say you would be following, Yoink?
I'm going to follow our PE player, DrHorse, in the south of Langres.
All right, then I'm going to be following Simon, otherwise known as Aimstrong, as Americans in the North. And I am paused at 5 seconds, and if everybody's ready to rock and roll, just say the word.
I'm ready to go at 5 seconds. Let's get this game started.
Okay, we're going to unpause in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpause. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And my engineers are building a barracks in the standard position on Langres.
Yeah, we got DrHorse has already queued up 2 Panzer Grenadiers while his Kettenrad is going for that first little fuel right outside his base.
Now I have to imagine if I was Simon playing right now, I would be hovering over the left of the map near the PE base, and then hovering over the ammo, and then maybe hovering over the right of the map, because if you didn't know, you can hear that Ketten's engine even in the fog of war. I think that's kind of whack. I mean, I don't think you should hear anything in the fog of war. I mean, how exactly do you hear that?
Fog of war sounds are kind of strange. DrHorse is upgrading his first Panzer Grenadier with a G43 upgrade, but before there's any combat on me, I would love it if NTD would go and show us the north part of Langres. It's some of the changes, 2 critical changes that were made to this base. The north part of the base is the hedgerow. That big opening in the hedgerow by the north player's base right there allows for engineers and riflemen to escape out of there to prevent a pin that usually happens sometimes with the old version of the map. And also, just a little bit to the left, those stone walls have been replaced by wooden walls, now wooden gates, which give basically a little less protection for players coming out of that base.
Wow, you know, I've played this in 1v1, and I didn't notice all of those changes, so thank you very much for pointing those out. Those are great. And it looks like Simon has begun with the rifle squad. Now, frequently against PE, you see some Jeep openings for the sole intention of hunting down that Ketten. Since you can follow him around in the fog of war, you can go straight to him. But Aimstrong is electing for rifles, and you can see this is obviously a tournament game because he has elected to cap that right VP almost straight away to immediately get a VP lead.
And now both players are aware of each other as there's some minor skirmishing right around the center VP there. The balance of the manpower on the field, though, is for DrHorse. He's going to push these riflemen slowly back up into their strat point behind those hay bales.
Yep, and PE likes to come together for that first engagement, and they can almost always win it. The Panzer Grenadiers and the G43, man, it's back to how it was when PE was first introduced to this game. They are strong.
Yeah, I've been playing around with them a little bit, as I know a lot of players have been, and they're not as crazy overpowered as they were when they first started, but they are a significant force to be reckoned with right now. And here it looks like DrHorse is going to try and cap under fire with that Kettenrad, but he's got PE Panzer Grenadier support coming in right now to take out those engineers. And you can see now, boy, that Kettenrad is now at half health, but he's going to make that cap and probably get it out of there in time.
Those engineers are surviving amazingly well, and let's see if they can get the kill. They did! They got it! Wow, that's huge!
What happened? Wow, DrHorse really took a gamble and lost on that. Losing your Kettenrad this early in the game really does set you back with capping power for the Panzer Grenadiers.
And now two rifle squads have gotten into a sort of soft spot of that very strong house, and although they stayed for a bit, they're quickly chased off. Now, do you think if DrHorse had switched one of those PG squads to repairing, he could have saved that Ketten?
I just think when you have a Kettenrad under fire at half health, you got to retreat it out of there. Although it's sort of a gamble because those engineers, usually you can escape from engineers. Their guns aren't that strong. I can't think of an example of usually where that's a guaranteed loss of your Kettenrad versus engineers, unless you're just not paying attention. It's just bad luck on DrHorse's part.
I can't believe how much fire they took. Those engineers just sort of stood their ground and dealt out so much damage. I think both of the players were a little shocked. I don't think DrHorse expected those engineers to be able to stay that long. Usually their health would just go ka and they'd be out of there. But they really hung out.
This is one of those balance changes. Engineers upgraded by flamers have a much higher threshold for suppression now. And they were just able to stay there, continue fire, being unsuppressed under those guns of the Panzer Grenadiers. Now look at this up here in the north. We got this G43 squad had to retreat down to the last man, and now a fresh Panzer Grenadier squad is going to take their place, unupgraded, and try and take out these rifles in yellow cover.
And here come the reinforcements. That's two reinforced squads plus an NG squad, so this PG is going to have to run. And although it sort of looks like Aimstrong doesn't have that much map control, he's got the important map control. He's got both corner fuels. And if you can control those 2+10s and deny them from PE, then you're in excellent shape.
Yeah, he's really sort of solidified. It was a little sketchy in the beginning, and now he's making fast comebacks here, using the fast capping power of those riflemen just to take back a lot of the map. Look, 3 territories at once being capped right now. The Panzer lead player has a plus 21 fuel with 70 in the bank, and he is just building his Panzer Jaeger command right now in his base.
Yep, we got the supply yard coming up for Aimstrong as he is taking just a dominant position in map control. And, that's what happens when you lose your Ketten right at the beginning of the game. That's like the worst curse for a PE player.
Yeah, I was going to say he looked like DrHorse was going to try and go for fast MP44s, but he does not have enough munitions in the bank, only 65 right now. But instead, what's coming out of that Panzer Jaeger command is, of course, the armored car. His about 1/4 of the way produced, and I bet he's going to start pushing these riflemen right around the field as soon as that comes out.
Yep, so he went tier 2, tier 3, straight after the quick AC to see if he can make an impact on this map control before the inevitable M8 hits the field, right?
Yeah, the M8, of course, is going to be in real trouble. He's got 56 fuel in the bank, DrHorse does, and that's not a lot of fuel to do things with. I don't think that's going to be enough to put together a Tier 4 building and an ATHD half-track. These riflemen are just running everywhere and eating up what little map control DrHorse has right now anyway.
He was able to white one of the key fuels under much distress, and looks like the rifles are going to put it right back up. Meanwhile, Aimstrong's very smart. He's got 2 great mines on that center road, so PE without a Ketten, what are they going to do with these mines? They can't just upgrade some minesweepers. I think really Horst must rebuild a Ketten. He must.
At this point, yes, and also, you know what? I see a lot of half-strength Panzer Grenadier squads running around here, and they are just gonna. It's just a huge manpower sink. If you don't have full-strength Panzer Grenadier squads, especially with a 3-man squad, he's gonna start bleeding off manpower really bad right now. It's gonna make it very hard to tap back what little of the map that he has. And here comes that AC now, going to finally rescue this one little Panzer Grenadier who's standing alive up in the north part of the field. He's probably gonna try and cap back that fuel. That AC is the only thing holding DrHorse's side together right now, and he's got to keep it alive.
Yeah, I would be very, very nervous driving on these roads, but DrHorse is not so... Oh, maybe he was. Every time he's about to go out on that road, he turns away from it. He almost hit the first mine right at the start, but then he turned left to go to that fuel, which was definitely the right decision. But here he's getting into the danger zone. You are surrounded by mines, Mr. AC. Oh, he's lucky he got by them.
I tell you, maybe this is the sixth sense that pro players have. They just kind of know where these mines are likely to be placed. And here we got the M8 on the field. This AC has got to retreat. There is nothing that the PE player has right now that could even remotely come close to touching this M8. It is now the dominant unit on the field, and I bet that Aimstrong is going to use it as such.
Yep, he's put the skirts on it, and now he's upgrading the extra machine gun on top. I think he's well aware that he's the big fish in the sea right now.
Now, just as I thought DrHorse was going to do, he was able to pull out one AT-HT half-track with just 6 fuel left in the bank. He used every ounce of fuel that the German hierarchy was able to give to him, and this thing is going to have to do its work and take out that M8, or it looks like it might be doomed for the PE player this early on.
He just lost a PG squad. They got annihilated as they sacrificed their lives to raise that fuel point, which has now been whited once again. So here is a very important engagement. We got the AT-HT coming up behind the hedge. We got the AC as bait. We got PGs chasing off engineers in the center of the map. So we got a very long front here, very interesting. The AT-HT is going to try to bust the engine, but look at that M8. He's getting away. I saw the rifle squad go down.
Yeah, that was a rifle squad loss for Aimstrong, but you know what? He's got plenty more rifle squads still on the field, and not a shot was fired by that AT-HT. It didn't even get a single shot off to that M8. It was able to escape. That M8 was able to escape without any damage. That's some pro-level play, micro play right there.
Yeah, it's very, very nice micro, and you can see that the strategy is coming in now. Aimstrong wants to move these important mid-game battles to the center where he's got some mine protection and where he's got really great map vision, and he's sort of conceded that left fuel finally at 10 minutes into the game. Finally the PE get their fuel that they should have had from the start. So he's okay to let a little map control go to stay strong and not lose his guys, not lose his army.
Yeah, for the better part of the last 4 minutes now, the PE player has had a fuel income of only plus 10. I mean, since he built that AT-HT, he's only had about 19 fuel go into the bank since then, so it's been a very, very slow fuel run for him. Now we're looking at the second Kettenrad finally out on the field. I think DrHorse realized his capping power was just awful, and riflemen can just run over the field and prevent PE from getting any sort of map control because they cap so slow.
Interesting. We've got counter mines laid down there by that plus 10 ammo right in the middle. The Ketten is busy capping away, but what he also needs to do is he needs to light up those mines. I mean, DrHorse must sense that there are mines everywhere. Oh, no! What a snipe by the 57 from range. Bing!
That's the second Ket to go down, and boy, as a Panzer Grenadier player, or Panzer Elite player, you just got to feel bad when you see that second Kettenrad go down, because you just realize there goes my map control, goes right with it. Now, you know, as you had mentioned, DrHorse did choose tank destroyers. He's using the Teller mines as a good deterrent against motor pool. Wasn't able to fully build that Teller mine section right there in the center of the map, but you know, a tank depot is sort of a desperation measure when you have no fuel and your American opponent has vehicles on the field. You can try and race right to Hetzers, which is a pretty good counter against M8 if you can micro it right and keep that gun pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, well, Simon has an M10 building right now, so he's upped the stakes a bit, and I really like what he's doing tactically with the 57 now. He's taking down that hedge to spread his view and you know, disallow the PE player to hide his vehicles behind that center hedge. Isn't that great?
That is great. You know, that's a mark of a pro player, being able to actively manipulate the map to your advantage rather than just having the map kind of fall into place during combat with artillery or whatnot, having the map fall apart. A lot of players do that with an 88. Flak 88 has amazing abilities to destroy the map in your favor, but usually not with a 57. That's you don't see that too much.
But he did it. He definitely shortened that hedgerow, and you know that'll throw a player off, because I mean, look, he thinks he's got cover there. You're just accustomed to the layout of the map, and now there's no more blocking. And look how he's working it to his advantage too, working in on that side.
Yeah, that's right. Now we've got two pieces of American armor here, light armor and heavy armor coming in. This is going to be a big problem for DrHorse. That AT-HT can't hold them both off. Looks like he's getting his first damage done to that M8, but now it's closing the gap here, and now we've got field repairs going. The M8 is immobilized, but it's going to repair itself out of that predicament real quick, and it doesn't look like there's anything now on the field that can even touch these two pieces of American armor. This is trouble for our German player.
Yes, Armor Company. We've seen a lot of Armor Company in the early stages of this patch. This field repairs, what perfect timing. You know, his engine was broken. DrHorse got that shot off, but he instantly repaired himself, and wow, the amount of damage that's being done now. AC full retreat, trying to save its life. Mortars back into the base. M10 is charging in. He kills the AC. We still have an AT-HT behind the M8, but it's not doing enough damage to make a difference.
You know, he has enough munitions to try and do one more tread breaker, but I don't think that he's going to be able to take out all of this armor with just one AT-HT. I don't think a mortar half-track was probably the right thing to build at this point with his fuel. You know, he took a chance on it. Now I have a second M10 coming into the base. This is trouble.
Wow, so another AT-HT popped out of Tier 4 and instantly damaged the engine on the M10. But he takes down the flak fearling, and now he's working on the other one. The second M10 is working on the other AT-HT, and it's just kind of sad to see a player of DrHorse's caliber just get sort of worked over in this regard.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised here. That M10 that's immobilized in the center was actually taken out by that AT-HT, probably because it was doing rear damage to that M10. That's probably the only thing that was able to allow that AT-HT to penetrate.
I've seen DrHorse make some incredible, unbelievable comebacks, but I don't think that's going to happen now.
Well, you know what? He just has enough command. Yeah, that's going to be a problem for Rifleman going into the base. He now has enough command points for a Hetzer, and he's about 10 manpower away, and I think he's going to call it in right now. Yep, there it is. Our Hetzer has appeared. This could save him if he micros it right.
He's lost a lot of vehicles, but his map control is okay. I mean, I would like to see Aimstrong harassing the corner of the map.
Yeah, no damage done to that Hetzer. That sloped front armor, the Hetzer really does a great job of keeping front armor from being penetrated. It's a good unit for this type of action that he needs right now.
And DrHorse has built a forward HQ where he is healing his one PG squad that is out at the front line, while the rest try to hold the base area. Now, this mortar, he managed to keep the mortar alive, and you know, he built that to counter that AT gun. He needed that unit. He might not have been able to afford it per se, but he needed it, and the fact that it's still alive might give him a chance against this AT gun.
Yeah, now this Hetzer is good for vehicles, and it can withstand the shots from his M10s, but that 57 will penetrate the front armor of the Hetzer like butter, and he needs to watch out. Oh, there is a forward HQ built by the Panzer Elite player. I didn't realize that DrHorse had put a forward HQ up there in that building.
Yeah, and Aimstrong just tried to attack it with a vanilla rifle squad and some flamers, and then the reinforcements came, and they're still fighting. He's got one stripe of vet on those rifles, but they are getting chewed up by PEs in a house, and so they too have to run. I wonder if he'll add bars to this army here.
That would help him. I think that rifle squad was just there too long. There was no way that they could do any real damage against those Panzer Grenadier squads in that forward headquarters, but that's okay, that's fine. Here we got an M10 now engaging this Hetzer from behind. That is exactly the wrong place for it to be. That Hetzer is facing the wrong direction. That M10 did some good damage to the front, and now it looks like he's going to play a squeeze play between the M8 and the M10. It looks like they're going to try and catch that Hetzer right in a place where it can't maneuver, and now it's down to less than a quarter health.
Beautiful blocking by the M10. That's a double vet M10, and I think he's been the MVP of this match so far. Main gun destroyed on the Hetzer, and let's see who's going to get the kill shot.
You know, for a second there, I thought that it looked like Aimstrong was purposely trying to give that last kill to the M10 to push it up to vet 3, because it looked like he wanted the M10 to focus on something else. Now that mortar half-track is in deep trouble. It's going to go down less than 10% health, facing right into the main gun of the M10.
Slippery
M10
mortars.
misfire. Oh man, M10 misfire bug.
And the 57 in the rear has been cleared, but the M8 kills the mortar half-track. Strangely, the M10 got no vet for killing the Hetzer at all.
Yeah, boy, you know what? There is only about 265 manpower in the bank for DrHorse. He does not have enough to call in another Hetzer, and now he has American forces pushing deep south into his territory and pretty much no resources left to counter them.
DrHorse attempted to steal that 57, but that wasn't a wise move, as the reinforcements instantly cleared those PGs that attempted that little bit of larceny.
Now we're trying to repair under fire here on this ATHT, going face-to-face with this. Oh boy, it's not going to do it. Going face-to-face with this M8. Looks like he popped field repairs on that also. So we have repairs and repairs on repairs, and it's just not going to go well for DrHorse.
M10 with 7 infantry kills and 3 half-tracks. Whoa, Shrek upgrades. That'll help if they manage not to get squished up against the wall. I think they tried to retreat, but they just decided that they are already retreated, and now those Shreks are actually doing some damage. They're staying alive.
Yeah, you know, this Shrek squad, if they keep doing rear hits on this M10, might actually force it to retreat. I'm sure Aimstrong can probably get it out of there in time to save the unit, but really I think at this point Aimstrong's just trying to save, DrHorse is trying to save his base.
And now Aimstrong is capping up the map, and that is going to spell sure death for DrHorse.
Yeah, boy, you know, this Shrek squad really did some heroic work, but one Shrek is not enough to take out 2 pieces of American armor that is, oh man, squished by the M10. What an inglorious death.
Aimstrong has unlocked Pershing, but we're not going to see it in this game. But look at that M8, man, with his 2 stripes. What a star he was. So perfectly microed. Such great control when he came out and dominated the field. And Aimstrong's just sort of management of that center with laying the mines down and taking down that hedgerow with the 57. He never let DrHorse through that hard front line, and that was really excellently played.
You know, and also, when you look back at this, Aimstrong shows the most amazing micro. He was able to keep 3 armored units constantly moving. There was no time that I ever saw the M8 or either of those M10s kind of just sitting, unless of course they were tread broken. But those 3 units constantly in motion can really just throw a German player off. Really, there's just no way to keep your focus on any one of them at any one time. They're always in motion. That's great pro play.
Yeah, it was interesting to watch the very slippery and skilled micro of DrHorse try to wriggle his way out of that situation, but that was a real checkmate, and there wasn't any of that happening. So that was our little quarterfinal preview, and when we come back, we're not going to show you Game 2. If you want to check it out, you can go download it from Game Replays. I think it's DrHorse goes Brits against Aimstrong's Wehrmacht. I'm not exactly sure, but anyway, if you want to see Game 2, go check it out yourself. We're going to be coming right back at you with a semifinals matchup from Tournament 19, because they're coming in as we speak. So stick with us. We're going to give you some music. We'll be back in a few minutes.